Guys, I wanted to highlight this ticker. He's also on YouTube. His name on both is Norratamo, Norratamo. I think his preferred platform is YouTube, but he also has a lot more things on TikTok. This gentleman he does like Pokemon cards. He's a gamer, so he does streamer. He also does Twitch. So I wanted to highlight him because of this situation that happened. And I first saw it here on Indisputable with Rashad Ritchie. And this channel does a lot of little known things that they don't get news coverage or anything like that. But a lot of these things that he covers happens to deal with things that are experienced by members of the Black or minority communities. So, a lot of these things do affect me because I am a person of color. So, but this situation really went viral. I think at this point, last I understood, the video had like 40 million. There were like 40 million views. Because and he got a lot of stitches, and duets, I think is what you call it. He got a lot of those. A lot of people stitched his videos, because it spoke to a lot of us in this community. So I just wanted to show this to you guys, show something to you guys and introduce you to Norratamo.
TikToker gets revenge on a racist bigot who called him the N-word. I'm going to take you to it to bring you the background. Here it is.
Racism in the Pokemon community. I just went on live, right? And I'm sitting here minding my business, just organizing some cards. And this guy joins the panel and he's like, "Oh, I have cards. Can you help me figure out if they're worth anything?" I'm like, "For sure." I pull up the website. I ask him like, "Okay, show me what you have." He turns on his camera. And then this is what happens next. What's on the, okay. And what are the numbers at the very bottom, on the very, very bottom of the card? Right here, what do these numbers say?
It's NIG.
Dude, are you serious? Why are you like this?
So I think that a lot of people were a little congratulatory to him because he didn't, crash out. He didn't go off. He didn't curse the man out. He didn't block this gentleman. The gentleman was actually saying that the numbers on the bottom of the card were NIGGER. And the dude said, "What? Why are you like this?" And the dude just kept saying, "It's nigger. It's a nigger." And of course, Indisputable bleep that out. But this gentleman continuously said, several times that, he was being funny. Basically, I guess he thought he'd get some laughs by saying that by calling this gentleman a nigger. Now, this here TikToker has, all he does is, gaming, and he does a lot of Pokemon, things like that in the Pokemon community. He does the cards and things. He loves to open packages of the little card packages and stuff like that. He's so non-problematic, guys. It's ridiculous how soft-spoken and kind this kid is. And for some people to come on his panel and do things like this, it's so ridiculous. And this isn't the only time that he's dealt with this.
Why is there so much racism in the Pokemon community? I just went on live, right? And I'm sitting here minding my business, just organizing some cards. And this guy joins the panel and he's like, "Oh, I have cards. Can you help me figure out if they're worth anything?" I'm like, "For sure." I pull up the website. I ask him like, "Okay, show me what you have." He turns on his camera. And then this is what happens next. What's on the, okay. And what are the numbers at the very bottom, on the very, very bottom of the card?
Numbers.
Here, what do these numbers say?
It's Nigger.
Dude, are you serious? Why are you like this?
It's nigger.
No, but seriously, but why are you like that? Listen, I've been collecting these cards for maybe like 5 months. My collection is not that big, but I love opening packs, right? I open packs on my YouTube channel. I love watching people open packs. I love opening packs with people. I like looking at everybody's collections. I love it. It's fun. But I don't bother anybody. In my year of doing content, the most racism I've received has been in the Pokemon community, all right? It wasn't just this thing that happened tonight. I just want to know, what the fuck is the point? I just wanted to try a new hobby and start a little collection, right? So can you leave me the fuck alone? Why?
So you see, that's all he does. He's so unproblematic. And the odd thing is, I'm like, it's Pokemon. Have y'all seen Pokemon? He's the little yellow thing, from, it was basically like an anime created in Asia somewhere. I don't know, Japan or something, but I don't know. People feel like they've cornered the market on it, and so Black people shouldn't be in it. But, controversial. Okay, I'm going to say something that might be controversial to some of y'all, but we haven't cornered the market of hip hop. We create it. Other people sing it, listen to it, do stitches to it, do videos and TikToks to all of our music, all of our culture. They braid their hair, and the lashes and all of this other stuff that we started doing, like other people do it now. And we don't get on their TikToks and say, yo, why are you listening to our hip hop music? Or, stop listening to our music, or stop. People say things about blackface, but we're not on there throwing racial slurs at people, being problematic for them. And so I guess I don't understand why this little dude here that's so unproblematic has to deal with so much racism in this community. Or any community for that matter. It's ridiculous.
Glad I could finally make a stream. My favorite set is Surging Sparks, and I was curious how you like being Section 8 monkey. Why am I being called a Section 8 monkey? We can get Pokemon cards with food stamps now. Why? What is with the racism while I'm trying to open Pokemon cards? I'm literally at the last pack. Like, damn, if you would let me finish. Wasn't bad enough you had to take basketball from us. Now you want Pokemon. How about you stick to something your people invented, such as cannibalism? That wasn't us. Glad I could
Now you see how the things that he deals with, the comments that he gets just in the Pokemon community. And again, like I said, he's part of a few communities because he's the Pokemon. He does also he does Pokemon, and he does gaming, like he does online gaming. He does the streaming on like Twitch as well as YouTube. And like I said, I think YouTube seems to be his preferred platform because he talks about being a YouTuber, how glad he is being a YouTuber a lot. And so he's really glad. If you guys want to go by, I would recommend you go by his page and consider subscribing, just to give him more followers, because it seems like he's got more on TikTok than he does on YouTube, even though he likes YouTube most. And so, I would definitely recommend you guys do that. But he's a part of several communities, and it seems like this one, the Pokemon community, is the one that gives him the most grief. And so he's dealt with stuff like that. With regards to the gentleman that he was helping with the cards, and the gentleman that was calling him, that said the numbers on the bottom of the card were Nigger. His response to that gentleman is what caused him to go viral.
Guy that called me slurs over and over again in my live stream the other night for no reason, guess what? You're going to get kicked out of the United States Navy. You know how they tell us that we should be careful what we do on social media because there could be real life consequences? Hi, my name's Real Life Consequence. I've done a thorough background check, and now I know everything about you. I know what little town in Texas you're from. I know your name, your phone number, your email address. I've seen your disciplinary records. I know the names of all of your family members, including your dead mother and your daughter who turns 2 next week, and her mother who's going to have to pay for all the birthday presents this year because you came into my live stream and saw a black man who was talking about Pokemon cards and video games, and you assumed, yeah, he's not going to do anything if I call him slurs repeatedly, even though he's trying to help me. Turns out I am going to do something. Turns out there are so many things I can do because I have all the screenshots. I have all of the recordings. I know that after you left my live stream, you went into someone else's and started talking about how much you love Jesus and God and the Bible. So maybe I should send that evidence to the church you go to in that little town we both know about. I know exactly which boat in the Navy you serve on, and I know the names of black sailors that serve on the same boat as you. Maybe I'll send the clips to them as well. But only after I send them to the Naval Inspector General's office because I'm getting you fired. I'm getting you kicked out of the Navy. There's nothing you can do to stop me. There is no apology I will accept. There is no excuse I will listen to. There is no money you could offer me. You're getting fired. And when you're working the graveyard shift in an Amazon warehouse and your back hurts and your feet hurt and those white bright lights are beating down on you and the teenager who still has his life ahead of him walks up to you and says, "What are you doing here?" Tell him the truth. Tell him about me.
Love it. Absolutely love it. And that's I love that for the Navy man. I love that for him because Tamo didn't give him any recognition. He didn't acknowledge his name or say anything like that. So this gentleman doesn't go viral himself. Nobody, and he's not causing anybody to go and give this Navy man any kind of hate or harassment or anything that's going to make it more difficult for Tamo to get the kind of justice that he's seeking. So I think this is great. I think that this is what we should be doing for racists because I do not think that racism is good. I don't think that it's good whether it's against illegal immigrants that are coming in from Mexico or African Americans that are here or immigrants coming in from Africa or anywhere else. I don't agree with racism in any terms. I believe that we're all human. And I believe the fact that we were all born human makes us equal. I believe that we have different skin tones, different hair textures, different eye color, different features. And I think those things make us kind of like God's flowers. We're all human beings, but we're all different, just like flowers are. You can take even two separate roses and look at them, and they're each have their individual beauty. Just like you would take 2 black people and put them together, and each one of them have their individual beauty. They're not the same. We're not the same. And my mom used to call us that, God's flowers, for that purpose. And I believe in that. I believe that we are all the same. We're all the same underneath one creator. And so I guess I don't understand why people have such small minds and such limited thinking where they think it's okay for them to look down upon someone else and that makes them feel better about themselves or better about their own situation. I don't understand that. I'll never agree with it. I'll never get with it. I'll never clock it. I don't like it at all. It actually infuriates me because as someone else that also lives, raised, born in Texas, I've dealt with a lot of incidents of racism. I've been chased down streets by men in a truck with guns simply because of the color of my skin. Been called that word so much to where it doesn't even affect me anymore. It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't take me by shock. I don't catch the vapors or anything like that, because I'm so used to that word being slung around by people that are attempting to get a reaction out of me, by people that are attempting to cause me to be infuriated. They want to make me feel belittled and small, like a roach underneath their boot. And so I feel nothing. But this gentleman here took it upon himself to actually cause consequences for someone that would do that to him, because he was so unproblematic and minding his business, and the fact that he was actually attempting to help this gentleman see if his cards had any kind of value, and this gentleman proceeded to call him racial slurs. I completely co-sign on the fact that he chose consequences for this man. I think that we should all do that, because I don't agree with racism. And the sad thing is, a lot of the people that are doing things like this to this young kid, the racial slurs, this boy's minding his business on his own platform, talking about gaming and Pokemon cards and shit. And this man came to him unprovoked, uninvited, unannounced. He just jumped on panel and started hurling slurs. And I don't see that with anybody else except for conservatives, or quote unquote conservative party people. And so the fact that this kid decided, regardless of what political party he sides with or whatever, the fact that he decided to take it in his own hands and say, I'm not going to just shrug this off like it didn't happen and keep moving. No, I'm going to do something about this. The fact that he decided to do something about this makes me proud of him. The fact that he chose not to crash out also makes me proud of him. The fact that he didn't boot him off and block him. The fact that he responded by saying, why are you like this? Makes me incredibly proud of him. I love this younger generation that have this, the part of this younger generation that has this kind of intelligence, this kind of emotional intelligence to respond and react this way. I don't. Usually I would, but in this instance, I don't feel sorry for this Navy man that's going to lose his job, how that's going to affect his wife and children, their, mortgage and car notes, and being able to, whatever, and whatever comes from him being, if he gets dishonorably discharged as a result of that, him not being able to get any form of military stipends or benefits as a result of that. I don't feel sorry for him because of that, because he brought all of this on himself. He did. So I don't feel so sorry for him. And I hate to be the one to speak ill of the dead, but it's kind of how I feel a little bit about Mr. Kirk as well. He brought that hate upon himself. And when you live by hate, it's kind of like what they say, when you live by the sword, you then what? Exactly. So I don't feel sorry for this Navy gentleman that's going to lose all of his benefits and his job, his income, and is going to have to do whatever he can after this to get a job. And, he's going to get one. I mean, let's face it, he's an able-bodied man. So he'll be able to find a job somewhere. I don't doubt that. But His entire military career is about to be over. And I love that for him. I absolutely do.